So this is another piece that has kind of like the, what is it called? Grumpy Old Troll. There's lots of staccatos mixed up with slurs, so you have to be able to mix them up, right, and do them both right on time when you need to. Just like with Grumpy Old Troll, think of all the staccatos as time for your wrist to go up. So it's like, and then smooth all of a sudden, and then up, 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 smooth, up. Here, it's the same melody as here, but we're going to have the chords. Same thing, and both hands can go up, up, up. Have you tried this one before yet? No? Okay, you're going to love it. So let's sight read it and see what happens here. Can we let's try right up there at the top here. Yep, and you've got your C ready there. I should ask you before we start too. Do you remember there's this really special rule about sharps?
There's one sharp in one measure. If it's another note in that measure, it's a sharp too.
Good. Is that going to happen at all in this piece? Where? Did you find it? There's a really good example where it's sharped, and you got to remember that it's still sharp the whole measure. What about in this measure? Anything to watch out for there? This one's interesting because they're not all in a row. Right? You play the sharp, you play other notes, but then you come back to G, so you have to remember that that one's still sharp too. Okay, good. Alright, so now let's try it out. And we won't do quickly with energy yet. We'll start reading maybe with medium. Maybe like this. And see how it goes. All in the same hand. Everything's going up, 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 smooth. Close. Look at those right hand notes. Is there a middle C involved? Sharp again. Lift out your arms from the wrist. Good. Okay, great. I'm going to write a little note at the end about the lift thing that we've been working on. Nice job. Great sight reading. So I'm going to put our little up arrows again as a reminder here and there a couple of times just to kind of keep that in mind for the staccatos, especially here when both hands get to do it. We want both hands kind of feeling like they're ups. Okay, that's going to be great. As you get comfortable with it, you can speed it up. This one could go really fast if you want. And so on. By the way, in music, if we have lots of repeated notes, like look how many A's there are in a row. How many? 5 A's in a row. That might kind of sound all the same after a while. What could we do to make that more interesting?
Make it louder.
Yeah. You can either go louder or you can go softer. And most of the time, louder is a really good choice. And I think so in this one. That little bit of shaping adds a lot of interest to the music, doesn't it? Instead of... just doing something to those notes a little bit. Like, I kind of crescendoed these 3. This one I kind of left alone, and then this one I started softer and kind of made the rest go louder. Something like that. But as long as you're doing something, it's going to sound more interesting than if it's all the same. So keep that in mind too. You can shape these a little bit. Great. That'll be great to hear that next week.